Magic the Gathering, the progenitor of the trading card game genre and master of emptying your wallet. Any of us who have spent enough time on the game have spent a roughly equal amount of money on it. But we do it because we love the game, and because, yes, Liliana of the Veil is a ridiculously expensive card, but damn is it good and worth it. But we're not here to complain about the price of cards, we're here to talk about new ones. Thus, welcome to Spoiler Alert, where we go through the spoilers of the latest set and talk about the cards that are most interesting. Of course, this series will only be coming out as expansions from Magic come out, and maybe some other card games along the way, but at least they'll be slow and steady. We'll generally talk about cards in terms of what they might do to Standard mostly, then beyond that, Modern, Commander, and perhaps Legacy. But let's move right on to the reason for making this video. Amonkhet. The set I have trouble spelling even after the nth time. While the plane based on insert ancient civilization here isn't the most inspired setting as of late, the story behind the setting is pretty interesting nonetheless. It's a weird utopia where average daily needs are taken care of by mummified zombies, and the rest of the population can focus on taking on these dangerous trials at the behest of their gods. Lots of cards depict humans, jackals, and minotaur either suffering or succeeding throughout these trials. Amonkhet itself is full of frightening dangers, worms, horrors, and of course, lots of zombies. But to protect the population from all this, there are of course gods. And with that, let's hop right into some card discussion. Not unlike Theros, we're given 5 powerful monocolor gods to play with. A large body, cheap mana cost, and some restriction to actually using them. These gods don't just want your devotion, however, they want your dedication to their ways. Hazoret demands your willingness to let go of your self-preservation. Kefnet seeks intelligence, Ronus the mightiest. Bontu wants willing sacrifices, and Aketra stands in unity with her followers. It's all very flavorful that way. All are very powerful, though some more than others. I would say Aketra is the most playable, with the potential to deal the most damage and build up a nice board state. After that, I think Kefnet has the most potential, something to give control decks the power they need in the current aggressive metagame. Hazoret definitely has potential in both Standard and Commander, and I think Bontu makes a great sack outlet for Commander. Ronus is easy to attack with at least, you can't have everything green. That said, I won't say no to opening any of these in pre-release. With the new set comes the usual gang of Planeswalkers, unfortunately. That being said, we have been told the Justice League of Planeswalker Avengers is being reeled back with future sets, something I welcome. As what is this Planeswalker doing in place of my favourite spunky fish lady? Now, the new needs for some pretty interesting design. In a built-up board stage, you can dig you deep into the answers you need, but on an empty one, well, you better get lucky with that zero ability. Next is Gideon. Gideon. It's the first time I've seen Planeswalker trouble being talked about. Putting his last zero ability aside for now, his other abilities are quite good as well. As a 3-drop Planeswalker, he's aggressive while also being able to control the board in some way. If he's strong enough to be played in Standard alongside Ally Zendikar, well, we'll see. But in Modern, I think he has a home in Hate Bears, something that lets you blank a big threat or make it harder for a combo deck to snatch victory. Hell, I've seen people say the same for him in Legacy, and so he's certainly going to make waves in multiple formats. And no, I don't think he's as busted as people are making him out to be. Then there is Liliana, Death's Majesty. Needless to say, the Mistress of the Dead would be right at home in Amonkhet. Her costing is just right, her abilities all work together, and I think that's exactly what you want from a Planeswalker. I could see it being played in Standard, perhaps in something to help Delirium along, and of course she has a great potential for Commander shenanigans. With every new set, we've got some new and some old mechanics. The new, Embalm, Exert, and Aftermath, and the old, Cycling. I think the first two are more so designed for limited. The payoffs on some of these Exert cards don't seem to make up for a creature being tapped down the next turn. I can see some of the Embalm cards being used, especially in a Delirium or Self-Mill deck. Aftermath is interesting, to say the least. I think it's a pretty cool mechanic, having 2 cards built into one. I've seen it compared to Fuse from Dragon's Maze, but I don't think that's fair. With Fuse you got one or the other early on, and a payoff for keeping the card for later. With this, you may be getting some slightly weaker than usual cards, but you have something in store for later on. Dusk and Dawn is probably the only really powerful one in my opinion, something I can see finding a home in a weenie deck, maybe? Never Return is probably not going to see much play at all. Ruinous Path saw very little play in its time. Insult Injury seems like it could be used as some kind of janky aggro finisher. Cut Ribbons is kind of useless with vehicles around for the time being. Once those are gone, it would certainly be on par with Mizzy Mortars in terms of sorcery spot removal. Now, Start Finish seems like a very potent limited card, so keep that in mind come pre-release. Beyond that, nothing really notable to speak about. They all do something they intend to do, just with a higher mana cost than usual. Also, none of them being a common kind of sucks, but it's understandable given how the mechanic works. Now, cycling is going to be one that inserts itself comfortably into standard. We love to draw cards, and this lets us do it in pretty much every colour. Not only that, we have a bunch of cards that want us to cycle them, including some sweet, potent 1-drops. And it's going to make limited and standard games alike much more consistent. Magic has been trying to reduce the variance that comes of these games as of late, starting with the new mulligan rule. If Wizards wants to make the cycling mechanic evergreen, I wouldn't say no. Next up, let's take a look at some of the sweet mythics we're going to get, starting with the Vizier of the Menagerie. This is certainly a powerful card, though it does feel a little win more than winning of its own. That said, given the right deck, it is quite the powerhouse, and of course it has the all-important 4 toughness people love in Modern. Now, yes, as foretold, it does let you cast Ancestral Visions for free right off the bat, but I really don't think you need something like that in your Modern deck. Seriously, what is it people wanting to cast this card for free? Honestly, the card feels like something that'd make a good engine for a commander like Talrand. Glorious End, it's probably just a bulk $1 mythic rare, but who knows. Cruel Reality is perhaps overcosted, but powerful, and we all know the combo with Combat Celebrant and Kiki Jiki. Come on, why isn't it just a Modern deck that's Kiki Jiki and everything that combos with him? Anyway, Angel of Sanctions is some very good value, I say. No Angel of Serenity, but a great angel nonetheless. Now, Samut, Voice of Dissent is a cool and very potent card. Once again, it has the desirable 4 toughness and a CMC that gets around Fatal Push. It's got a slew of good keywords and abilities that would slot right into a deck like Big Zoo. Flash it in, untap something to blow out your opponent, and then land another threat down and go all in. I like it. I think the next best thing to look at is the juicy good rares we're going to get. And there are quite a good number of them. We've got Gravecrawler, 3.0? Power of the Lives 2.0? Even Mind Sensor joins the ranks of the second card from Future Sight to get a normal set printing. New Perspectives, why aren't you Astral Slide, and Dispossess is coming for your artifacts. Red gets some great rares this time around. Anger of Gods, sort of, with cycling, nice. Soulscar Mage brings a new dynamic to burn spells, and Glorybringer gives us a good Hasting Dragon to argue about. Then there is Harsh Mental. While its use in standard is blindingly obvious, I'm not sure it's going to see much play outside of that. Yes, it does turn fetches into self-bolts, but I honestly can't think of any Modern deck that'd be crippled by this creature. I think Eidolon of Revels is just better in the context of Modern, and I hope to hear tales of people getting a heart-piercer manticle flung at them by another one, before getting embalmed for the finishing blow. Green gets some very green rares. Prowling, Serpop, screw it, the Cat Snake is the best of 2 halves of the internet merged into one. Champion of Ronos is a very suicidal Elvish Piper, and Sandword Convergence does very mean green things. Channeler Initiate is quite the interesting take on a mana dork, and I think it will see a good amount of play. Then we have Harvest Season, that is a delicious commander card. I think some of these black cards have the best art, especially Shadow of the Grave, which has some interesting combo potential, I guess. Plague Belcher foils are probably being grabbed up by commander players right now, and on the topic of Zombie Tribal, we also get Liliana's Expertise. On a less supported tribal node, there's also Regal Caracal. Actually, White seems to have gotten all the dumb Jane cards this time around. I mean, at least Approach of the Second Sun isn't a mythic rare, but Gideon's Intervention is really just too overcosted to be any good. I guess that's what White gets for having allies in the card for so long. Blue has gotten Pull from Tomorrow, which is just an amazing card draw spell. Glyphkeeper is going to be a bomb unlimited, I reckon, and Vizier of the Many Faces is an upgraded clone that graveyard-based decks in Commander are just going to love. I hope Creative Mysteries and Drakehaven are going to be played together in some kind of cycling standard deck. Looks fun, to be honest. All that's left are some of the dual color cards and artifacts. We've got 3 more dual color legendaries to work with. Nothing utterly busted, though Wizards has done plenty of that lately. Though Embalm on a potential commander is a cool concept. I think out of all the artifacts, Throne of the Godfarer has the most potential, but I don't know if that's actually going to be enough for it to see play. Okay, I could go on and on and on about all these cards. This set is full of neat little uncommons that have all kinds of potential in standard and beyond. I didn't even go into the trials, cartouches, and other notable cards. But overall, my hopes for Amonkhet are for it to at least provide some more diversity into standard. I don't actually play the format, but when I do judge tournaments, it's no fun watching the same deck being played for 7 to 8 rounds. And I hope to see some discussion in the comments about other notable cards, or things I may have missed in my ramblings. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a like or a share, or perhaps even subscribe for more, if sporadic, Magic related content. But for now, thanks for watching.